Mr. Smucker, you're recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, for being here. I'd like to just take briefly a minute or so to thank you for your leadership in the department and thank the administration for the focus on creating opportunity for Americans through job creation, through creating an environment where businesses are focused on growing and creating those jobs. I can tell you that businesses in my area are responding. Just was part of a roundtable recently in my area where a business owner, a family farm, said, we feel like we've been unleashed again. And so businesses are investing, they're growing their businesses, and they're creating jobs. So thank you so much. It's refreshing to see that kind of approach and that kind of focus. I'm also very pleased with the attention and focus on apprenticeship program. One of the things I've always noticed, having served in the state Senate and now in this position, you have individuals who are unemployed, and at the same time, you have businesses, on the other hand, who are looking to fill jobs, and it's becoming, they're almost desperate to fill jobs. And so what it really takes, and in fact, the best way to promote upward mobility, promote lifting people out of poverty, is connecting people with great paying jobs that are available. I think apprenticeship program is a tremendous tool to do that. It's one that's been underutilized here, so I'm very, very thrilled with the initiative. I look forward to working the administration to create scalable apprenticeship programs across the country. And with that, I have about a minute. I do have a question. One of the areas that businesses have been concerned about in my district is on OSHA compliance. And in fact, employers understand that it is important to provide a safe workplace, a healthy workplace for their employees, but are concerned about the approach that OSHA has taken over the past number of years, where it's more punitive rather than collaborative. So I'd like to hear your thought on that. What ideas do you have to create an environment where businesses are receiving assistance to comply and to ensure that they have a safe workplace?
Congressman, thank you for your words and thank you for the question. Briefly, let me say, on the one hand, we have asked for additional funding for a program called VPP, which is in essence, a compliance assistance program, a voluntary compliance program. And as a general matter, where you have employers that are trying to do the right thing, you want to help them do the right thing. Let me say that has to be balanced with a vigorous enforcement program. And so where you have an employer that has engaged in repeated violations, in willful violations, my view is you have to enforce and enforce vigorously. And as a former U.S. attorney, if need be, you should even refer those where there's willful violations that result in death or serious harm, refer those for prosecution. And so I think it's important to have compliance assistance and a very fulsome compliance assistance for all those employers that are just trying to do the right thing, while we acknowledge that, as with every situation, the Congresswoman earlier asked me to say, does every American, not every employer is like that, and where the employer is repeated and willful, then there needs to be vigorous enforcement.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Norcross.